I have the pleasure to announce Tang. She's a poet, writer, and cultural critic and curator based in Hong Kong. One of the founding editors of the literary magazine Fleur de Lettres, and now acts as chief editor of several Hong Kong literary magazines. She's currently chief curator of Hong Kong literature, of the House of Hong Kong Literature. Tang visited us in the festival 2020, and now she moved from Hong Kong temporarily, she says, to Taipei?
Taiwan.
Taiwan. And I would like to ask her 2 or 3 questions before she begins with her reading.
Yes.
I will join you.
Yes.
I will join you here. Tang, we met last week in Vienna at our festival kick-off at the Literaturhaus Wien. I'm very glad that you could come to Munich now. Let's talk about the situation of poetry and poets in Hong Kong, especially your own. You have been subjected to some repression in Hong Kong, including losing your teaching position at universities. You told me in Vienna that you had moved temporarily to Taiwan, but not to save yourself, but to save Hong Kong. What does this mean to you?
Yes, I would say that actually I'm as a poet and also editor in Hong Kong and also a curator of cross-disciplinary exhibitions. And of course, I participate quite actively in the 2019 Hong Kong revolutions. So I'm identified by the government. Okay, so that's why I'm losing some projects which funded by the government, and also some of my books have been taken off from the libraries. They just like kind of abandoned by the library, and also I lost some teaching position in the universities. So that means to me is the suppression of expression and the freedom of expression and the freedom of creation in Hong Kong is diminishing. And what we want to do is we have to open another window for it. And Taiwan now is among all the Chinese-speaking areas is the most enjoy the largest freedom, I would say. And so I moved to Taiwan and want to make more connection between Hong Kong and Taiwan, and opening a publishing house, and just after I go back to Taiwan, it will be opened and publish the first book, those books cannot be published in Hong Kong. Okay, that's what I mean. It is not to rescue myself, but to rescue Hong Kong, and precisely should be the Hong Kong culture. I think that people here are all literature people, so you do understand what I'm meaning, what I'm saying. Yes, and we have preserved what we have in the history, and what we need to let the youngest and all the international people know about the complicated and rich culture of Hong Kong. Yes, that's we have to publish more and more record and thinking, and also kind of argument about 2019 movement and the Hong Kong identity problems. So that's what I'm trying to do in the future in Taiwan.
To illustrate this, you told me also in Vienna that there was recently, there's a very important prize for literature in Hong Kong, and the poetry was excluded.
Yes, this is a very sad thing which annoy me in the past weeks. And the largest literature award in Hong Kong, which announced by the government library that they are handling the literature things in Hong Kong. The government library they should announce the prize every 2 years. So it's this biennial prizes award, and the prize should be awarded in the November of last year, but we don't know why the result didn't come out. Although everyone knows the result in the summer of last year, okay. And the problem is we all know that who will get the prize. Okay, we all know that in the summer, but the poetry awards, those poets get their they will get the award. We know that already. Then find that their poetry collections was taken off from the library. Yet it's that you know that what means actually you should be awarded a big prize, but in return, in the opposite, you find your poetry is banned by the library. It's totally unreasonable. And finally, in this year, just maybe 2 weeks ago, that they announced the prizes list, award list of the prize, okay, of the award. But the whole group of poetry had just disappeared. They didn't announce the poetry prize for that year, for the last year. So this is very unfair and very unjust things to us. And the poets who should originally get the prizes, they are not political person actually. They are younger than me. They are writing. How to say that? They are writing mild and daily life poems, very detailed and kind of healing and sophisticated thinking poems. They are not actively participated in political movement, or they are even very low key person, I would say, and they are younger than me, and this is very strange that every post, essay group and the fiction group, they also have kind of suspicion of political things, and why they just took off, just why only the poetry awards disappeared. I think that there are some bad people are doing things like that. This is what we call Foucault calls discipline and punishment. Okay, they use the prizes to do discipline and punishment, and they punish those people, which is quite mild, but not listen to them. They are not there. They are maybe young. The poets are younger than me, and they are not well-spoken person. You know that they're very low key, and they. Even after that, this thing goes to the A1 of the newspaper, but the free poets didn't come out to say anything. They are very afraid of any further danger will come to them. So this, and I would see this as a very unjust thing to do. They are not doing anything illegal. They are just writing as a response as any usual person that towards any news.
Maybe poetry is dangerous.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to think about. That's how dangerous we are. Okay, how dangerous we are. Okay, it raised our consciousness.
Running out of time. We come to your own poetry.
Oh, really?
You are reading in one last question. You are reading in Cantonese. What is the meaning? About reading in Cantonese?
Okay. Cantonese is the most widely used language in Hong Kong, and among the Cantonese area of China. And in China, the formal language should be Mandarin, or we call 普通话. Okay, but Cantonese is regarded as informal and kind of a bit rude, you know, a bit rude language. Although it is a very old language that contains very Asian essence of the Chinese language, but it will regard as rude. And so Hong Kong people now, they see Cantonese is a way of preserving their cultural identity, and they're trying to make Cantonese a formal language to translate some classic works like The Beautiful New World and 1984, something like that. They are using Cantonese to translate it. So, I'm not writing Cantonese. I read in Cantonese. So you can, our audience here is very warm that you still stay till this late night to hear. And so I want to share with you the 9 tones of Cantonese to see if you can try it, because it's much more difficult than Mandarin. Okay, Mandarin have 4 tones. Dong, 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 dong. Okay, 4 tones. Dong, 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 dong. Okay, Cantonese has 9 tones. Dong, 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 dok, dong, 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 dok. Okay, again. It's my pleasant to every international reading sessions. Okay, once again, dong, 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 dok, dong, 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 dok, dok. Okay, night. Okay, that's the famous post-colonial theorist Spivak. She has been to the visiting scholar to Hong Kong for 3 months. She intended to learn Cantonese in 3 months, and she failed. So it's a very challenging things for our friends like you to maybe learn it. Okay.
And now we hear and show some of your poetry.
Okay, I'll keep it short because it's very late night, and we are looking forward to our live performance on stage. Okay, in Brooklyn. This is I think that Augusta had raised the questions that how dangerous is poetry, and I think this is sometimes I'm thinking we are quite weak, you know. We are when we are facing some brutal things and some will trample in the reality, something trample on our face. We are kind of a weak response, but everyone, if you find the story I told you just as before, the Hong Kong stories that which move you, it may be good if you can write anything, maybe a little things, maybe just a line in your poems, or a line, maybe several words on the social media. That it will help. Okay, that's what Ukrainian people told us, teach us in the wartime. Okay, so it's really happy to share with the people who love poetry and freedom, I think. Okay. So I will read my first poem. 虛實錯報 虛實錯報，大水是不是虛構？當我們來到這裏，恰是香港50年一遇的旱天，陽光毒辣，現實不容修改。新聞裏有直升機將行山者送院。乾涸的石頭對歷史鑑物，往年山水成鑑，游泳的孩童消失為成人，他們簽署了虛構，在自己的畢業證書、婚姻契約與報稅單上。界限是否虛構？ 有人翻山越嶺而來，索求不容於此地的身份。界限在他們面前消失，從此深植在他們的影子之中。梅子林匿藏了最後的秘密，這城市的繁榮終將被證實為虛構。房屋是否虛構？誰人張望，屋裏的人就全部消失。周圍的鐵樹如蕨類，葉子瞬間低垂，障蔽了的詩記改寫於風中。我們攀援過的藤蔓不過是字句，踏過的苔蘚是韻母，滑倒的輕呼為它絕音。虛構那界限的挪移，時空的回轉，詩開啟一個小小的停頓。挫敗的時候，神分有隊列進入山林，梅子借代了慰藉。為什麼恰是虛無之日來到歷史面前？這是否定還是拯救？我們蒸騰出萬千屏風與蛋糕，社區是文飾還是禱告？梅子樹，我們將結果呢，還是萎靡？每座山都有不可到達的深處。一回首，少年的單車呈一直線，隱沒在彎曲的山路轉角。人間不過一種吊詭的溫度。In my poems, I try to figure out some kind of shifting of between the boundaries and the fictionals of history. The theme of this year, the Schamrock Festival's theme is where we are. Actually, this. I think we should go across in something between the fictionalist and reality, and we are trying to crossing any kind of boundary if we can do it. Okay, we are going to discover boundary and try to rewrite it. Thank you.